Hey guys, just wanted to bring you up to speed on what we've been doing lately. This video is going to cover hauling and building, which I know we've shown before, but the exciting thing is that now we've moved out of the prototyping phase and are working on the production game, which is what you're seeing now. So some things that you can notice right away is that we have different variants for your settlers, basically randomly generated body parts, and we compose guys on the fly, so everyone will have their own unique look. There are just a few variants here, but in the real game we'll have more. And we have our gang scheduler working, so the AIs of all these little guys can coordinate and figure out who should do what. Right now they are hauling a bunch of wood off of trees that I've told them to chop down and putting them in stockpiles, and they'll keep doing that until we tell them to build something. Okay, I've jumped ahead in my recording, and you can see now they are building a house using all that stored wood. And you can see they're sort of building this post first. That post is going to support the walls. Now they're chomping away at a floor, then they go on another post. And the reason why they're doing things in order is because we've built up a dependency graph of things that need to get built in order for this house to be constructed. In order to build the walls, you need posts to support them. And before the walls can get built, you need a floor. And you can see now they are actually on the far side building scaffolding so that they can build the walls higher. So the AIs are looking at the sort of order of things that need to be built and coordinating with each other to figure out who builds what at what time, and they're sort of saying, okay, I'll build this block and you build that block. So this is very exciting for us because it means that we now have the capability to really coordinate AIs to do fairly complicated tasks. If you think about like all the bricks that need to be built of all the different pieces, this wall versus that wall versus this post versus the floor versus the scaffolding, and how they all depend on each other, we can now give that to a whole bunch of AIs and they can sort of figure it out and get the thing done. So of course they're building this thing using the wood that they stored in that stockpile. There's nothing special about the wood being stored. Basically they have a goal, which is I need to build this thing requires wood, let me go get wood. And the closest wood happens to be in that stockpile. Okay, so you can see that they're making pretty good progress, and this is about the speed that we want things to build at. We're still fine-tuning it, but we want things to be leisurely, but not take too long, and not build too fast either. The idea is that you would say, hey, let's build this house. They would go off and do it, and then you could go and manage other parts of the game. Okay, wait, this is kind of cool. So they ran out of wood in the stockpile, but because I told them that they could chop down these trees as well, they figured out, oh wow, we need more wood. They stopped building the house. They go chop down the trees, and now they are directly using the wood that they've chopped down to continue building on this house. There's no need to store it because the wood can be directly used to build. And that goes back to sort of our goal-oriented nature of AI. Right? So they have a goal of, I need to build this piece of scaffolding, or I need to build this piece of the wall. Well, to do that I need wood, so I need to get wood. There's no wood on the ground, so what else could I do? I could chop down a tree to get some wood. And so that's what they do. So this is cool because the game is constantly surprising us with sort of emergent gameplay where we didn't tell this worker, or we didn't program this worker to do this particular order of things, but they just do it because they're smart. Okay, so this is interesting. They're actually tearing down the scaffolding on that back wall, and they're doing that because that wall is complete. So they can tear down the scaffolding and get the wood back and use that wood to build up the rest of the house, which they're doing now. So I think they actually have enough wood to finish the house at this point. We will find out. Right now, the little guys on that close wall are building that wall up higher than the other ones because sort of the wall on the left and the wall on the right are going to need to be peaked to support the roof. Right? Okay, so they're done. So that wall is totally complete. The scaffolding's been removed. And you can probably see some graphical glitches here and there. Totally a work in progress. This is just a developer snapshot of what we have working at the moment. But it's coming along. It'll keep coming. You can see rabbits hopping around in the background. One thing you've all probably noticed about the world is that it looks very different from our prototype video. This is more of the look that we want to achieve. It's definitely inspired by the Zelda games, the early Zelda games, and 16-bit RPGs like Chrono Trigger, which is really kind of the vibe we're going for, sort of that nostalgic feel. Pretty happy with it, but I would say that this is maybe like 30-40% done. There's a lot more detail that we want to add to the world to make it a lot more just vibrant and just a fun place to be in. And you can see they're building up those peaked walls, doing a great job. I'm sure you can see graphical glitches, like the guys overlap way too much, stuff we need to fix. But right now we're working on sort of the hard technical problems, like getting this AI coordination down. The graphics will come, for sure. Okay, and that wall, that far wall is complete, so they're removing that scaffolding, and then they'll use the final scaffolding on the far wall to construct the roof. Right, and it turns out that, well, okay, I don't know what that dude was doing. He decided that he was going to store the wood and then take it right back out. We've got bugs. No surprise. And it looks like the AIs on the far wall are kind of stuck. We'll see if they can figure out what's going on. So work in progress, guys, for sure. But you should start to see the roof come in a few minutes. Yeah, there's a couple of blocks of the roof. So great. So the thing that we wanted to do with building was make sure that it had credibility as like a real sort of simulation. So you can see, like, as they're walking along the walls and on the roof, they're actually standing there. There's like the pathfinders like trying to find paths for you need to stand here, so find a way to get there. So there's no like floating people or anything like that, which was kind of hard to do. That's why we had to build the scaffolding system, but I think it really pays off because, you know, you get just cool little things like seeing these guys like, you know, standing on the roof and working on the roof. It adds a lot, I think, to just sort of the fun ant farm quality of watching these guys build. Oh great, our other guys got unstuck. They figured out what to do. I'm not sure what's up with that bug. We can take a look at that. But yeah, okay, so what's going on at the bottom of the house is they're using the wood from the scaffolding to finish building the roof, and these guys realize that they have more wood than what they need to finish the house. So they're taking that extra wood that they've scavenged from the scaffolding and they're putting it back in storage. And they continue to work on the roof. It looks like things are going to be finished off pretty soon now. And now there are no more tasks to be handed out on building that roof, so this little guy on the right is doing the next best thing, which is taking wood which is not in the stockpile and either putting it in a stockpile or using it to build the rest of the roof. So these guys really have just sort of like different goals that they can be achieving at any one time, and a priority for which goal is more important. If there's no work to be done on the house, then they can go on and do something else, like, you know, store wood or go chop down a tree. And it looks like they are just about finished. They are finished. There, the roof is done. That scaffolding should be taken down, but it looks like it's not going to happen. It's okay. Work in progress, guys. We've got bugs, but I hope you can see that we've made a lot of progress in terms of coordination of AIs and getting building really working. There, I just dragged out another stockpile so you can see that, you know, it's sort of dynamic. They can respond to your orders as you give them, and that's about it. Thanks. Bye.